A real classic and simple coping tool is actually figuring out strategies to connect with other people. Over the past year and a half, relationships have been strained. We have not been maybe going into offices. We've been shopping less, going to restaurants less, attending sports less, being with our people less. So it's really natural that many of us, if not all of us, that have experienced some type of lockdown during the pandemic is facing or experiencing anxiety in our relationships. How do I connect with people? Connect with my people, my very significant close relationships, and then the relationships that extend further and further out. So here's a few simple strategies beneficial in our close relationships or in our peripheral relationships, in our community, in our cities, social media relationships. So the big thing is number one, again, I'll always say we want to slow down, but a focused way of noticing this in relationships is let's pay attention. So if we want to find ways to strategize and connect with other people, first off, we want to pay attention to our own self. How am I doing? How am I feeling? Am I anxious? Am I feeling like I don't actually know how to be in this room or in this situation? How am I doing? And then as well, paying attention to other people. How is this person doing? How are they coping? What is their energy? How do they present in this situation? Simple strategy with paying attention might even be asking, like, how are you really doing? It's our first time back to watching the kids play a game, or, September is finally through. How's it been teaching? Hey, it's your first day back to work in a while. How are you doing? Noticing these difficult situations or noticing the peripheral experiences that people are going through. Talking to the clerk at the cashier and saying, how's your day? How are you doing today? So we pay attention, and then we can pay attention with our words and tell people that we're noticing them. Another thing, and this is so hard with our mask situation, but smiling is just one of those simple go-tos that many of us have worked to just incorporate in our relationships with peripheral people and our people. I think of back in the day, prior to all this COVID stuff, and I would walk from the grocery store to my car and walk across the parking lot. Somebody stops. What do? Smile and wave. Thanks, dude. So now it's like, if my arms are full and my face is covered, it's kind of awkward to smile. But there's this thing that happens as well, and I think we're getting more attuned to the subtlety of watching people's eyes. And when somebody's smiling, you can see it in their eyes. You're starting to notice, maybe you've noticed this and been like, oh wow, I'm starting to notice the smile crinkle when people want to evoke some kindness. As well, Augment Dignot, the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, which I'm completely in love with this book. I'm very passionate about it. In one of the scrolls, he says, we'll greet this day with love in our heart. And he also talks about, that when we really incorporate love into our way of being, that our eyes will show that love. So we might not be able to show our smile, but as Tyra Banks would say, we can smize. So move your smile from your mouth to your eyes if you were in your mask. But let's try to show people kindness and love and how we see them and how we are being present with them. This is another simple and effective way to connect. And true, this is kind of tricky because we're all in a state of trauma brain or stressed brain, however you want to notice it, but appropriate self-disclosure. Now, the difficulty right now is when we talk with other people, especially strangers, oftentimes we're talking about the pandemic. Maybe it's taking some time again to slow down and think of some other things that we can talk about. What events are approaching, what is going on in our city, what holidays are coming up, these different things. If we're in a sport environment, maybe we talk about sports or we get curious about what sports are meaningful to them. We discuss our own interests in sports. maybe in a grocery store, we just, talk recipes with somebody or suggest a product that we like when we see them looking at, I don't know, the coffee section or the ice cream section. Just that little hint of self-disclosure. And then to be really challenged in our more core relationships. Am I sharing my heart? Am I really letting my guard down? Am I allowing myself to be known more by this person who's in my core love circle? It's a really important question. And I think because we're so stressed right now, some of our deeper, more vulnerable conversations are struggling. And then this is really simple and powerful, is as we notice people, no matter what stage of relationship we have with them, complimenting, validating, and normalizing their experience. So if you see something good in somebody, tell them. If you see somebody doing something good, bad, struggle, whatever, however we see people, we can validate. I see you, and this is how I validate that I see you. And then normalize. So when we see people in their own existence, that we normalize. It's like, yeah, this is how I see you in comparison to other people. I see your pain and I see this pain, or I see your good success and I see where your peers are at. So validating and normalizing are really important, powerful tools in whatever relationship dynamic we are in, but especially as adults with children or with teenagers. Validating, normalizing, complimenting. Everybody wants to feel good about themselves. It's okay to want to feel good about yourself. And it's really, really helpful to have somebody give praise. Okay, and then the final thing that I have here is really, it's kind of a combo of, we got to put ourselves out there. And to really put ourselves out there and strategize and do all these things I'm suggesting, not only is it I put myself out there, but I am myself. So in all of these powerful relationship coping, simple strategies that work, the pivotal pieces that I know me and I am me. I know me as best as I can. That's all. That's my experience. I know myself as best as I can. So no pressure. You don't have to know yourself perfectly. You don't have to be perfectly authentic. You don't have to get yourself 100% right. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, it's because that's how I am with me. I get myself as best as I can. And then I can put myself out there. And then I can smile or smize. I can compliment. I can validate. I can be authentic in relationships, whether that is peripheral or core, whether that's a safe relationship or maybe an unsafe relationship where we don't have to put ourselves out there. So boundaries are okay as well. Okay, you guys, let's try and find some positive, simple things these days. We've worked hard enough. We've noticed the hard long enough. And it's not gone away, but we still need some simple things that feel hopeful, meaningful, possible, and effective.